Welcome to Lisa's Therapy Adventures. Today we will be making 2 tray items. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, project number 1. We're going to be using this beautiful crinoline color to coat the top of this lovely egg that I got from Sonia, who occasionally goes out for me and finds beautiful items for me at her local Dollar Tree if I cannot find them myself. So we're just coating it very, very, very lightly. We're making sure we get all the nooks and crevices. It's a lovely little egg. I get all of my DIY paints from Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Designs. You guys need to go check her out. She has some of the best color paints, and she has a product you can use called liquid patina to decoupage with, which you'll see me use later on in this video. So guys, her products are awesome. Now I'm going to be taking my Waverly Antique Wax, and I am going to be using this to wax the sides and back of this egg. And this piece is made of what you call MDF wood, so it does absorb the antique wax rather quickly. So I did have to put a little bit more on it heavily, so it would kind of, you would be able to see the effects of it. And I'm just using the baby wipe to do so. I don't use my paint brushes when I use my antique wax, because the baby wipe can easily wipe back any excess that I don't like. If it's like too much, I can wipe it back. So baby wipes are awesome to use for the antique wax. And most of the time you can get the antique wax from your local Walmart. Now I got this beautiful napkin. I believe I traded it off of a trade website, and I don't remember the person I got it from, but the napkin in itself has got beautiful flowers and butterflies on it. And here is my liquid patina that I got from Sammy. I'm going to be using the paintbrush, and I'm lightly going to be dabbing this liquid patina on the top of this egg so I can decoupage on it. And as you notice, my thing breaks, my paintbrush breaks, and I attempt to put it back on, and it breaks a second time, and I'm like, okay, let's use the small part of it. I was like, no, that's too much effort. So I was like, I knew I had another paintbrush, so I went ahead and I used my second paintbrush, and I left the mistake in there just so that you guys can see that we're all not perfect. Sometimes we do make mistakes. So I'm just making sure I have an even coat of the liquid patina on here. The reason why you use the white paint is so that when you see me lay this napkin down, that napkin is going to pop off of this egg. And right here I am just adhering the napkin onto the egg. And yes, dear, I did put paintbrush in my mouth, y'all. I do me. You do you. That's what I say. That way I knew I didn't lose that one, because I forgot that I had 2 on the table after the first one had broke the first time. So now I'm just making sure that I'm coating the top with the liquid patina as well, so that there is no like bubbles or anything. And I can tell you can do this in sections, but I figured since this wasn't such a big project, I just decided to do it all in one big section. Which the more you get to use liquid patina, the easier it comes, and you get so much less bubble and crinkling from this liquid patina. I absolutely love it. So here I'm just taking my pair of scissors that I have, and I'm cutting off the excess part of the napkin, because you got to cut off the excess part of it. And I'm going to be going all the way around it. And I finally found my Lazy Susan, which which I knew I had one, and it's so much easier to paint and to use some of these projects with. Makes it a lot easier on me, at least. So we're just cutting the remaining off, and I don't know why I let y'all see me cut off the whole thing, but you know, it's just, I figured y'all wanted to see my lovely cutting skills today. So I'm removing the excess part of my napkin. And there will be some stragglers on there, so that is why I'm taking my finger sander you see there, and I'm going to be sanding around that egg. So that it's all nice and pretty and smooth for you guys. I do believe I got that finger sander off of Amazon, and it came with like multiple pads, sanding pads, and that for fairly cheap. So if you're looking for one, I suggest you look on Amazon. Pretty sure there's other people that carry them, but that's where I got mine from. And when you're decoupaging or you're trying to get rid of some like excess part of napkins and other things, that is a great little tool to have. And I'm just checking to make sure everything has been sanded, and I noticed there was little spots that hadn't completely got the napkin off, so I went back and I finished it. And voila! There is the napkin on it, and so it was still a little bit sticky, so I'm just setting it aside and letting it dry. So we have moved on to this pretty little carrot. I mixed salt wash along with fire starter and liquid sunshine to make that orange color. Because the orange that I was using was not quite orangey enough, so I mixed it with some yellow to bring out some of that pretty orange. So I'm just stippling that on, and you will see at the end that all of my projects have been stained with that antique wax on the sides and the back. You won't see me do it to this project, but in the final reveal you will see everything. Like I said, I'm just pouncing it up and down so I can get a lovely texture. And you didn't see me paint the top, but I painted the top with aviary. Right here, I'm just making a finger bow for my project. And I wanted it kind of thick and had a lot of layers, so I don't really know how many times I wrapped that around my hands. So I'm cutting off another piece so I can wrap it around and make a pretty little tail here for you guys. And I'm showing you how to make the finger bows.
That's proper procedure.
I'm just wrapping it around. And sometimes it takes just a few minutes to wrap that piece around to get what you need. And you just tie it as tight as you can. It makes the cutest little jute bow you've ever seen. Just pulling it tight, wrapping it another time to make sure I get it as tight as possible. And I'm taking some E6000, put just a little dab on the top so that I can attach my little finger bow that I need. Right there. And then I noticed that the ends needed to be trimmed, so I trimmed them up just a little bit. And I let that E6000 sit on the side so that the bow could be a pretty little bow I made could be adhered to it.
Yeah, we predicted that they'll hit the second wave of emergency responders also.
Just making sure that it is completely adhered, and I'm showing you how the finished look looks, even though it will dry overnight to make sure it adheres completely. Alright, now we're on to the bunny. I painted the front of the bunny with the crinoline, and I'm taking this rub-on that I got from Temu. It is very, very, very sticky, ladies. Keep that in mind. I am just looking to see how I want to position it, and I'm going to be using a popsicle stick here, and I'm just going to be rubbing all over this bunny to make sure I get that beautiful design on there. Each one of my projects, at the end, you will also see have the little finger bows. I do not show you how to make another finger bow in this video, but I do show you the finished products. They have all the jute wrapped around it. I believe at the egg you'll see that I wrapped some pretty jute around it, because to me it was just a little bit plain time I put the other items up on the tray. And then I also made it in a pretty little finger bow. But here I am making sure that I get all of that design onto that bunny. And she turned out like, guys, I wish you could see her. She's going to turn out so gorgeous. In here, I am taking my liquid patina and I'm going over that rub-on so that it makes sure that it won't come off at all. I'm just going to be using the little sponge brush, and I'm just going to kind of be wiping it all over that bunny. And there was a little bit of excess on the bunny. I don't know if you see me use the finger sander again, but I did have to use that finger sander to get the remaining excess off of it. And you just see me with that, and I do let it dry. But now you can see the final reveal of how I placed every bow on there, put some more jute onto that egg. You guys tell me, should I have left it with the extra jute on it, or should I have just left it with the bow? Guys, enjoy. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and please enjoy your day.